It's field trip day, guys. We are going to Baniyas, a tribal area in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, and we are going to experience Baniyas by Widian today, a floral, fun scent that I don't think you guys have noticed yet, but you should. Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to go through Baniyas by Widian. Widian's an interesting house. I've gotten big into the Middle Eastern houses, if you guys haven't noticed. I'm a big fan of Oman Luxury, one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of Ibrahim Al-Qarashi. I appreciate a lot of what Amouj is putting out there. I have some stuff from Escopia that's going to be coming out to you. And now I have some stuff from Widian I'm going to put forward. Widian is interesting in the sense that it is towards the higher end. So Ibrak is a mid-level contender. Amouj is sort of like the gold standard. Oman Luxury is one of my favorites and an up-and-coming major runner to super high-end. And I feel like Widian probably falls somewhere close to Oman Luxury. Even though Amouj is seen as the gold standard, their scents can be very polarizing. Never a safe blind buy, and I would say a lot the same with Oman Luxury as well. And we'll see if Widian falls into that category. These houses are known for using a lot of rare ingredients, doing complex, interesting blends of scents, and laying down a heavy foundation of traditional Middle Eastern spiciness and oud. In my research, I found Widian is in that neighborhood, but probably towards the lesser end in the level of the concentrations of their oils and the use of rare ingredients, but they're still up there in the high-end category. To me, this is a beautiful white floral scent with interesting influences of herbs and greenness, along with some woodiness and oud. And that brings together a very complex and interesting mix that feels very Middle Eastern to me. Widian is known for taking the Middle Eastern scents and doing a strong French blend on them, laying into their history of the Middle Eastern and French connections over the years, and taking strong French influences and mixing it in with the Middle Eastern scents. As I traditionally do, I spritzed this wrist an hour ago to give you the dry down notes, and now we're going to spritz this wrist for the fresh notes. So right off the bat, you get a little bit of citrus. There's bergamot in there. And that's paired with, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but artemisia, which is mugwort to us common folk, and lavender. And that mix of scents gives this slightly, and those scents together bring together this nice white floral front. It's a little citrus hanging around. You've got that herbal, almost mintiness with the lavender. And I feel like it's lavender forward with a little bit of that herbal mint and then the citrus sort of holding it up at the bottom. And it's a very pleasant first note. Something I would really enjoy wearing, I think, right off the bat. And the question is, does it carry through with this fun floral freshness? Where does it go? Now, moving into the middle notes, it's a little bit of a twist. So we've started with this nice white floral beginning. And then in the middle notes, we've got some geranium coming out, cedar wood and oud wood, traditional oud wood, of course. And the geranium's coming out with this nice bit of green floralness. The cedar wood and the oud wood are adding this woody base to it. So it's got this nice woody base sort of holding up the floral scents. And right now it feels very white floral, but with woody depth to it. I see this as a very casual, fun scent. Definitely can do this in warm weather. Something you could wear on a date maybe, out to a nice restaurant. I don't think it would be like a black tie affair. I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling a little bit more casual, but I would wear this out with friends on a date, going somewhere with my wife. Now that we've built those top notes of a little citrus, a little green herbaceousness, in that nice white floral. And then we've laid that on the middle notes of some great wood, a little oud, and some nice green woodiness from the geranium. And now we're going to pair that down into the base notes. So now moving into the base notes, we've got some patchouli, adding a little bit of mint to it. So it's pulling more greenness back into the scent from the bottom. So we started with a little mint, soft edge of mint, and now we're pulling more into it from the bottom. There's sandalwood, some nice woodiness to build onto those middle woody notes. We've got vetiver, so this nice green scent adding in. And then we've got evanil, which is, and I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'll preface that by saying no idea. Anyway, it's a synthetic note. I haven't seen it before, but it's common in the perfume industry. And it's supposed to mimic oak moss, which brings in this woody, earthy scent to the mix. So we've gone from initially being a white floral with a little citrus and a little mint. Then we've built it onto this wood center with, again, a little strand of mint in there. And then we've brought in the base notes, which again is a little more mint, very woody. And then running through that, we've got a little bit of oud, but just a little bit. All in all, right now it feels very green and woody to me with a little bit of white floral. So whereas it started predominantly white floral with little wood, now I feel in the base notes it's sort of flipped and become a woody scent with a little white floral. A very nice dry down. It almost feels like it's something that's a little too feminine for me, something I would suggest to my wife because of the initial strengths of those white florals and how it was balanced with the other notes. And now that it's dried down woody, it still feels, for some reason, it feels like it's leaning feminine and yet something I would totally wear. And it's confusing me a little bit, but in a good way. And that's what scents can do. We are on this journey to figure out what are the perfect scents for me, for you. And part of that is going to be a little confused about why we like something and maybe why we don't like something else. But this falls into that first category of why we like something. I'm not exactly sure what it is about this that's talking to me, but something in this little vial is talking to me. So I definitely think Widian is a house that I want to see more of, check out more of their stuff. And Baniyas is a scent that I want to wear a little more and understand why it speaks to me so much. So guys, this has been a fun one. And I think together we are going to find a lot more fun ones like this. So check out Widian, what feels like another up and coming Arabian house to the mix of fun, interesting, different houses that are putting out amazing Middle Eastern scents with Western influences or European influences, and finding a way to take traditional Arabian scents that speak to the Arabian communities and translate them into scents that speak to people like me in the US who are looking for something a little different, something a little fun, and finding a way to wear that and smell that and enjoy that. And another interesting note about these houses is I'm not going to say they're cheaper or much cheaper than a lot of the European houses, but I will say I feel like the quality I get buck for buck, euro for euro, whatever currency you want to use, feels a little better than what I see with a lot of the Western or European houses. So all in all, guys, Widian Baniyas, great scent, interesting floral, white floral with wood, with a little citrus, with interesting different things I've never smelled before. Mugwort, haven't had that before. Evernil, which I can't even pronounce, haven't had that before. Cool stuff, fun scent. Like, subscribe. Let's go on this adventure together. Have an awesome night.